this morning I woke up and I was meditating and I was asking Spirit, what was the message I needed to talk about? What did I need to say today? And it just came really clearly, and I got up and went to my computer and wrote it down. And so I'll share with you. The biggest message really that I got was that life is simple. Life is simple. That true? Life is simple. We breathe. You know, we don't think about our breath, but we breathe, don't we? You know, we don't every moment think, okay, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. We just do it. We do it automatically. And life is simple. If you look at nature and you look at, I live on a lake. If you look at a lake or the ocean or a river, it just flows, doesn't it? It flows. It doesn't need hard work. It doesn't go, oh, God, not flowing today. Oh, what's blocking me? Oh, you know, it doesn't. It just flows. Right? Life is simple. It flows. It naturally flows. Isn't that true? When you look at nature, it naturally flows. And sometimes, you look at a body of water, like we live on Tugger Lakes, and sometimes there's areas of a lake where the water isn't moving, isn't flowing, so it gets a bit stagnant. And I thought this morning about, that's like our life, isn't it? Our life automatically flows, our body flows, it instinctively and intrinsically knows how to heal, doesn't it? Our bodies are amazing, our heart beats, we breathe, we do all these things. We don't say, okay, heart beat. It only beats fast when you take too much thyroid medication. But most of the time, you know, it beats normally, right? I mean, things flow. Life is really simple. Would you agree? Life is really, basically, simple. So what do we do with it? You know, we tend to complicate it, make it harder. But truly, if we look at things around us, and you watch the hummingbird, and you watch nature, it's such an amazing teacher for us of how things flow. So that really struck me today on, you know, how things flow. And when you're feeling good, when you're feeling happy, things feel like they're flowing easier, doesn't it? Things just happen easier. You create stuff, you're like, okay, I got this. But when we're not feeling good, or we're feeling down, or something we're feeling blocked, then it feels harder, right? So the flow gets a little bit stagnant. Just something to think about. You know, think about for a moment your life, right? Just for a moment, think about what areas in your life feel like they're flowing really well right now? And what areas, if any areas, don't feel like they're flowing as good as they could be? Maybe your health isn't 100% at the moment, or you know, maybe you don't have as much money in your account as you would like to. Or maybe you haven't met the person of your dreams yet. Or whatever it might be, but just think for a moment about that. And what would it feel like if you could imagine yourself absolutely abundant right now? Like if everything in your life was flowing perfectly. Because it actually is. It's just that we make up things that say it's not. Right? Isn't that true? Even if something isn't the way you think it should be right now, it doesn't mean that it's not flowing. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It's what we do with it in our thoughts. Isn't that true? So what if right now, I'm just going to get you to close your eyes for a moment. What if right now you could just breathe in and feel inside yourself that your life was overflowing, was so abundant, and especially any areas that may not be showing up that way in this moment. But think of it as being so abundant. I'll read you this quote. There is power in simplicity. Do not overcomplicate your life by overthinking. The stream always takes the simplest path to the ocean. So right now, just start to affirm that my life is flowing in all areas. That I am open to step into the flow, to be one with it, to accept it. And breathe that in. Breathe it right deep inside of you, right into your heart, right into your stomach, right into your whole being. And I'll just read you something from Esther Hicks and Abraham. You will notice that those who speak most of prosperity have it. Those who speak most of health have it. Those who speak most of sickness have it. Those who speak most of poverty have it. It is law. It can be no other way. The way you feel is your point of attraction. So the law of attraction is most understood when you see yourself as a magnet, getting more and more of the way you feel. When you feel lonely, you attract more loneliness. When you feel poor, you attract more poverty. When you feel sick, you attract more sickness. When you feel unhappy, you attract more unhappiness. When you feel healthy, vital, and alive, you attract more of those things. So start to breathe in every day and affirm that my life is flowing abundantly. You know, we talk about it here, fake it till you make it. You know, start to change those belief systems that say, you know, I'm not well, or I don't feel good, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, and start to open up to that energy, to that vibration, so we all become a match for it. Makes sense? Now you've all heard this a lot. But it's a, you know, an important practice that when we forget about it, to remember that it's always there, and to remember that we can always affirm how abundant we actually are. Because we are. You know, we're all so abundant. We may not have everything in order the way that we want it, but what if that was okay? And what if, by being okay with that, we open up to something bigger? Because whatever we think about and affirm is what's going to show up. You know, it's been really interesting. I've been really working on this and playing with these principles for a long time. And I think the one area for me has been around health. You know, everything else has been really flowing so easily for me. And ever since I had cancer 6 years ago, it was like through me. I think it's something in me kind of, it was a shock that I wasn't able to heal myself. And it was so interesting for me over these 6 years to watch where my mind has gone with it. And to constantly reaffirm that I'm healthy. So that's been my, my thing to work with, is that, for me it's been interesting, and I know for some people that have had cancer, it's been also, or any other illness, that, when there's an ache or a pain in the body, the mind goes, oh, the cancer spread. It's over here. So, and it's a constant thing to bring the mind back and bring my mind back to, I'm healthy, I'm vibrant, and to keep coming back to that focus. So constantly we need to keep coming back to the focus of where we want to be. And if it's not happening right now, it's still happening, right? So to be able to focus our mind on health, on abundance flow of finances. So if the finances, how many would like better finances right now? So Dan, you've been doing something great every day, haven't you? You want to share what your little thing you've been doing?
Yeah, I just affirmed that I'm a multi-millionaire. I've been doing it for about 8 days constantly. I've tried to do this so many times, but I've really got into it now. And $2,000 showed up about 2 days ago, just out of nowhere. So try it.
No, so what's changed for you? I mean, let's talk about this, because we all get to a certain place and then something sometimes gets in the way. So what changed for you? Because I know this was something you've been working with.
It's got, I'm more positive about about my finances now and the negative. That's, I've tipped the scales.
Do you feel it?
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah,
That's
absolutely,
different.
absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up because you gotta feel it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the real big difference. We can think it. We gotta feel it in our bodies. And we gotta feel good about it, because that really
You
changes
don't
things.
believe it. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because you'll sabotage yourself. You don't believe it.
And so the feeling state is really important. We need to feel good and excited about it. Like, yeah, you know?
You celebrate it too. When it comes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
celebrate. You happy dance,
Yeah.
smack five.
Even
go
finding
over
a-
the whole five.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's it.
You know, even finding in America we call them penny, you know, penny. Even finding like a 5-cent coin on the ground and going, yay! Like, yeah, thank you, universe. You know, it's every little thing. If you want to create more of that financial money flow, you know, to really start celebrating that and celebrate every time you write a check. Like, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm so abundant. Every time you give money to somebody for something you're doing, like, just be so excited about it. Because in that, so much more is going to come back. Who does that? Who, like, gets really excited when you write checks, when you give money, when you pay bills? No, we go, oh, God, here's another bill.
Yeah.
Oh. So what does that send out? Does that send out there's a flow? So we want to be more in the flow of life, right? So it's about looking at how you can get more excited and really look at, wow, this is wonderful, you know? Even when we're not feeling good, it's like, oh wow, good, my body's doing some healing. It's really cleansing. You know, I thought as I found out I took too much thyroid, okay, well, we're just going to be full of light today. You know? So it's really how can you turn stuff and see it, frame it in a way that creates more flow. Because isn't that what abundance is? It's flow. And if you look at the universe, there's no lack. You know, look at the ocean and there's no lack. It's amazing, isn't it?
Can I share?
Yes?
I've tried working with prosperity, and I've tried this for a while. But, you know, there's always this little voice that goes, no, you're not. You say, I'm a millionaire. No, you're not. You know, but one thing that I've been trying is giving. You know, you talk about flow, and so, you know, whenever there's an opportunity to give, like to the Positive Living Spiritual Center, I don't know if I got all that right, but,
You did.
you know, or the RSPCA, you like when people call, you know, and then the Red Shield, and I was just in Cayama, and there were people raising funds for birthing kits, you know, for third world countries, you know, just to create a clean environment, and, you know, and then hospital stuff, and so I just, in this process of giving, and it really has sort of, you know, changed my attitude about it, because before I was grateful. I wasn't like, yay, I'm writing a check. I'm like, okay, I'm grateful I have the funds for this. I'm grateful I have the funds. And it was like keeping me at at least I make it, you know, getting by, but I want more than that. And so this giving experience is like, then I find not $2,000, but I got, you know, $40 in this pocket, and then $20 in that pocket. And, you know, it's like, wow, that's working pretty good. And then, you know, then business opportunities has just really been kind of exciting. It's only been like 3 or 4 months.
All it takes is that littlest shift, right? The tiniest little shift, and it starts to happen. And then the shift gets more, you know, as we shift even more. I remember Stan and I were renting for years, and we didn't own anything, and we were renting and paying a lot of money for rent. And we woke up one morning and said, okay, it's time to have our own place. It's time to put our own money into our own mortgage instead of paying other people's mortgage. It's time. And we both just got right into alignment with it, right? And we set this whole thing in our minds of how much money would come in and flow towards this and what would happen. And it was such an easy process how we got our first house. And we set set in our minds how much we could spend, what we wanted to spend, right? And we both got money from our parents for the deposit. And we said, we want to live in Wahroonga. We thought, you know, for a moment my mind went, how are we going to afford a house in Wahroonga? Like, so we went to this one street in Wahroonga, and it was the house was right in our price range. We made an offer and we got it. And I remember when the woman that we got the loan from came to see the house, she thought we bought a shack for what we paid in Wahroonga. And she walked into a 4-bedroom, really beautiful house, looked like a California house. That's why I liked it so much. And she was like, wow, how did you guys do that? And I said, if you're in alignment with the flow, amazing things happen. Amazing things. Things beyond what you can imagine, because the universe will do everything to make it possible. Everything. True?
Yes.
Okay, so for the next month, are you willing to practice being more in the flow than you already are? And that's always, you know, there's no limit, right? This is the beautiful thing. In the universe, there's no limit. The only limit is what? The one we put on ourselves. That's the only limit. The universe doesn't go, okay, that's enough for you, your flow's finished. It doesn't. We just do that. We go, oh, I've received enough. I can't receive anymore. Oh, I don't think I can receive that. But, you know, that's where we need to look and go, no, I can. To look at what are the beliefs underneath that's stopping. What are the unconscious stuff that underlies that? You know, underlies, because those are the things that run, those are the things that create. So as we start to get in touch with that and shift it, everything changes. I feel more abundant in my life now than I ever have. Absolutely ever have. And I give and give and give and give. Financial stuff as well as time, and because what you give, you get back. So if you give time, you get more. You know, if you give money, more money comes. That's just the law of the universe. That's how it works. If you want more love in your life, give more love. Be more loving. Help people. You know, do whatever you can. Be of service. And you open yourself up to that. I was thinking about, you know, we all have computers in here. I've only met a few people that didn't have computers, but most people do. When you have your computer and you have a file in your computer that's outdated, what do? Delete, 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 right? You get rid of it. It's not there. You don't need it. So that's what we need to do with those thoughts in our head and those beliefs that don't serve us anymore, is just imagine that we're deleting them, like a computer. So every time they come up, delete, delete. I'm not good enough, delete. I'm not going to have enough money for that, delete. You know? My body is not healing fast enough, or whatever it is, delete. Right? You want to practice that with me this next month? Delete. So anytime there's stuff that's coming up, delete. Hit the button, delete. And then focus on the flow. Focus on what you are creating right now in your life. Be open to receive. Be open. If you find yourself crossed a lot, uncross yourselves. Because that blocks the energy. You know, we sit like this a lot. Well, the energy can't open. So, you know, be open with your arms open. No, it looks funny, but I'm serious. Like, what a difference. Because it's what we do with our physiology that makes a big difference, isn't it? How we sit, how we carry ourselves, how we walk. All of that stuff makes a big difference in what we want to create in our lives. What we want to bring into our lives. One of the things that I found really helped me to feel more abundant is two things actually, is to see everything as a blessing. This is a practice, it takes practice, to really see even the hardest stuff as a blessing. And sometimes when we're in the hardest stuff, it's hard to see it in that moment, but to just be open to see it when we're ready to see it, and to accept that blessing. Whatever it might be, whether it's health or relationships or finances or whatever it is, to start to see the blessing. I did a talk on Thursday, 2 talks, to the local library, and the first one was on living well through cancer. And I had quite a lot of people there, and not everyone, or illness, living well through illness, and some people had cancer and some people had other health issues, and just to be able to talk about what was a blessing here, you know. And sometimes when you're in it, you can't quite see the blessing yet, but if you hold that, then you'll get to see it, you know. So for me, you know, when I got diagnosed with having cancer, I didn't go, oh, what a blessing in that moment. You know, it took me to sit with it and really meditate on it and see what the blessing was already. And now as 6 years have gone, I see the countless numbers of blessings that have come from it. Just that I do things differently. And, you know, the biggest blessing for me was, as a healer and someone that always wanted to take people's pain away, was to realize that I had to look after me first. And I never had. So there was like incredible blessings. And that's the thing, no matter what's taking place in our life, there's an incredible gift in everything. I truly believe this, because you know, I've seen it, and sometimes we don't know what that is. So to be able to see the blessing, to recognize the blessing in everything, right? And to hold that as a blessing, because then you're holding something bigger, right? You're lifting the energy, the vibration. Does that make sense? And the other part of that is to be grateful for everything. For everything. For everything. The good, the bad, the indifferent, everything. You know, we talk about gratitude a lot here, because for me that is one of the most powerful spiritual tools we have. Isn't it true? To be grateful. To feel that, because when you do, it changes your vibration in your body. It changes the cells. The cells start to get healthy, liven up, get filled with energy. So feeling grateful every day. How many of you every day think about what you're grateful for? Every day. So it's a wonderful practice. Wake up in the morning, think about what you're grateful for in that moment. And when the day finishes, what were you grateful for that day? And breathe it in. And if you're going through a hard time, see if you can just feel grateful for whatever the hard time is. Whatever's happening, to build that sense of gratitude creates more flow. Creates more flow. So that we begin to live this life much more abundantly. Much more joyfully. And you know what? Life is full of everything. Life is full of the wonderful moments and the very tough moments. It is. That's what our soul signed up for. That's what we came here for. And you know something? We're never given more than we can handle. We aren't. We're never given more than we can handle. Sometimes we think, oh my God, you know, why this? You know, how come this? But the universe, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, will not give us more than we can handle. Sometimes it happens so that you can go, wow, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Wow. We're not given something that we can't handle. We're given whatever we need to get through every situation. In amazing ways. Have you ever noticed that when you're going through the hardest time that people are there? That sometimes people you don't even realize are going to be there for you are there. How many of you? You know, I don't think I've ever really talked about this, but I want to share this with you. So I was married very young, when I was 22, my first marriage. And I had no idea who I was then. No idea. I wasn't who I am today. I am who I am today because of that experience. but I felt I was in a real place back then of very low self-esteem, and so I married someone who was an abuser, and emotional, mostly, emotional and mental, intellectual, whatever you want to call it, not physical. Sometimes I think the other is much harder to take because people don't know what's happening. And something in me was dying year by year. My spirit was just, And one day something changed. I don't know, something in me shifted, and I went to see a psychic. I was about 25 years old, and I went to see a psychic, and they said to me, not that I was going to leave my husband, but that there was someone wonderful waiting for me, someone loving and wonderful and supportive and all that. And I don't know, something in me just was able to shift and get the strength to leave my marriage, and I did. And there was someone waiting in the wings for me that was a wonderful person in my life then that was able to kind of lift me up. So it's so beautiful that there's always something that will lift us. There's always a person or something that will happen that will lift us. If we're willing to do what's right for us, if we're willing to say, this is not working, I can't do this anymore, or whatever it is, but willing to really look after ourselves and be true to us, be authentic. Mel and I were talking about being authentic. To be authentic. Then more flow comes. Right? So flow happens by what? How do we create more flow?
Blessings.
Blessings.
Being open to it.
Being open to it. Surrender into it. Letting go.
Just really being positive, knowing that it's coming.
Yeah.
Breathing.
Breathing.
Always helps.
Yeah. Singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And moving your body, right? If you feel stuck, move your body, right? That's why I love yoga so much. But any way you like to do it, get your body to move. If you move and stretch your body, like we were talking about like this, but this is an incredible posture. You open yourself up. And every day to affirm, I open myself up to receive great things. I'm willing to be in the flow of life. You want to say that with me? What did I say? I'm willing to be in the flow of life. Come stand up. Please stand up. Open yourself up. You don't have to hit the person next to you, but come and stretch out. We've got plenty of room. I'm willing to be in the flow of life. Should we do that one more time? That feel good. I'm willing to be in the flow of life. I'm willing to receive good things.
I'm willing to receive good things.
Woo, how's that feel?
Awesome.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It happens by the willingness. It happens by the willingness to each day. Sometimes it's moment to moment. Sometimes if we're in a hard place, it's moment to moment, Sometimes people come in here and they're in a hard place and they think to themselves, oh, everyone's so happy around me and I just can't get there. But that's fine, because where you are is perfect. That's the other thing. If we can accept where we are, so much more will flow. It's when we don't accept where we are that things stop flowing. Isn't that true? If we can accept where we are, whatever that is, and be okay with it, wow, we just move, it just flows like the river, right? Like the river, like the ocean. Things just flow. So to really start to accept as well. That's the other way that flow comes. Accept where we are. Because what we tend to do is we fight against what is. But it is what it is. So if we can say, wow, okay, this is what it is, and I accept it, then it can move. Right? Isn't that an important one? That's probably one of the most important ones. Number one. I'm willing to accept my life as it is. And then as you do that, it can open up to something more, to more flow, to more good. Isn't that true? Accepting. Just seeing if there's anything else I forgot. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Dalai Lama. It's an inside job, happiness. Everything is an inside job. You know, it is. Everything is an inside job. It doesn't, somebody else can't make us happy. It doesn't work. It has to come from within ourselves. We've got to get in touch with that source of happiness within us. It ain't outside. It ain't anywhere else. Isn't that true? It's an inside job. It's all inside jobs. So if we can focus on the blessings, we can experience more joy and grace. Be grateful for the little things and for everything. This helps build an abundant consciousness. So I'm just going to finish with one last thing. Uncross your legs. Close your eyes if you'd like to. And just take some nice deep breaths. Breathe really deep, right inside of you. And for this next moment, just focus on, imagine each area of your life flowing. So if there's an area that's been feeling stuck, just imagine it flowing right now. Imagine all the good things just coming in, that things are flowing, that your health is flowing, that there's vibrant health in every cell of your body, that the finances are flowing and there's money coming from so many sources you didn't even know about. Imagine that. Imagine if you're having trouble in your relationship, that's flowing beautifully, that you feel the love there. If you're wanting a relationship, that your heart is open and you're just flowing in that rhythm of sharing, of love. That your heart is overflowing with love. Breathe it in. Feel right now and see in your mind. If you're not visual, then get the feeling. If you're visual, see the picture. Hear it. Let all your senses come alive. So you feel that life is flowing, that your life is flowing abundantly, that you're open. See yourself with your arms, that you're open to receive. If you're finding that you just want more joy, then open yourself up for more joy, to see things in a joyful way, to open yourself up to receive more joy and more good than you can even imagine. And breathe that in. Picture yourself cutting away the limits, the little limitations, that little old stuff. Just see yourself cutting it away or just being lifted from you. Any old stuff that's blocking, that has been there. Just see it being lifted. Lift that veil. And just for one last moment, feel yourself being flooded with light. You can imagine it pouring into the top of your head to your crown from the heavens, from the universe. Just feel yourself being flooded with light. Like you're in a cocoon of light. Just breathe it in. Feel your cells being healed and whole and complete. That you've got wonderful energy and vitality. That you're completely loved and supported by the universe. That all your needs are met financially and in every other way. Just feel that. Claim it for yourself right now. Claim it. Breathe it in. Pour yourself with light. Be flooded with light. Breathe that in. See, the calls are coming in for you already. The universe is responding already. The minute we open ourselves up, here it goes, the call. The call you've been waiting for is happening right now. So thank the universe. For the last moment of this, start to thank your body. Thank your being. Thank every part of you. Thank your heart and your lungs and your brain and your intestines and every part of you for the amazing miracle that you are. The amazing miracle that you are. Just thank each part. I really believe that that's one of the greatest healing tools we have, is to start thanking each part of us. Thank every cell and every organ and every part. And your cells will smile. You just see the cells in your body smiling back at you. Breathe in very deeply. And one last time, open yourself up. You can stand up if you want. Open yourself up. And I am open to receive, and I am open to the flow of life.
I am
Open
open to receive,
and I am open to the flow